Today I am going to tell you a story. Okay, listen carefully, children. One day, a rich dad took his son on a trip to a village. You all know what a village is, no children? So he wanted to show how poor the people in the village are. Okay, so after the trip, he asked his son, "What did you learn from seeing the village?" Okay, the son replied, "We have one dog, but they have four dogs, Daddy. We have a swimming pool, they have rivers. We have electric bulbs, but they have stars in the sky. We buy our food, they grow theirs. We have walls to protect us, but they have friends to protect us. We have encyclopedias, but they have the Bible. Thank you, Dad, for showing me how poor we are." Well, Dad was surprised after listening to his son, and he also learned a new lesson from his son. So the moral of the story is, children, it is not about money that makes us rich, but it's about the simplicity of having God in our lives. Okay, children? I repeat the moral of the story. It is not about money that makes us rich. It's about simplicity of having God in our lives. Okay?
Today, children, we are going to learn about political parties. You have already learned the lesson. We are going to revise the lesson political parties today. Okay. Now, today, the contents of this lesson we are going to learn are the definition of a political party and its importance, the role and functions of a political party, and about the party system in India. Okay. Now, children, you remember in earlier times, emperors and kings ruled India, okay, and the governance was in the hand of a single person. The welfare of the people depended upon that particular person, okay. If the king was a good person, he did many good things for the people. If he was not a very good person, people did not get any benefits from him, okay. Later, when the foreign powers they made India as their they came into India, they made India as their colonies. The colonies became states after independence was declared. Okay, children, when the foreign powers came into India, what happened? They created colonies. Later, the colonies were changed into states after the independence. Okay. In 1950, children, India became a democratic country. Okay. And party system was developed and people were able to raise their opinions on any subject. Now, what are political parties, children? You have heard about political parties, no? You would have seen some elections also, and you know what a political party is. Political parties are voluntary associations of individuals who will agree with the same policies, okay? Only the individuals who agree with the same policy, they will form a political party. Any basic party has got three basic components, okay? First, they have got the leader, then they have got the active members, and then the followers. So, basically, a political party consists of the leader and the active members of the party and its followers. So now I am going to tell you about the importance of a political party. Okay, what is the importance of a political party? Do you think that political parties are important for our country, children? Yes, we definitely need somebody to raise their voice and share our opinions to the government. No, so the political party is the backbone of democracy. Okay, they are the essential elements to form the government, and they are the mediators between the citizens and the policy makers. Okay, who are the policy makers? The policy makers are the people who are ruling the country. Okay, and a party is recognized if it has been engaged in politics for about 5 years. Okay, only if a party is engaged in politics for 5 years, we will recognize that party. Then its candidates secure at least 6% of total votes in the last general elections. Okay, so two factors. A party is recognized if it has been engaged in politics for 5 years, and if the candidates have secured at least 6% of total votes in the past elections. Now, what are the characteristics of political parties? It consists of a group of persons of common goals and common values. It has its own ideology and purposes. Okay, it captures power by constitutional means, and then it endeavors to promote the national interest and national welfare. Shall I repeat, children? The characteristics of political parties. It consists of a group of members or persons of common goals and common values. It has got its own ideology and and in its programs. It captures power by constitutional means, and it also endeavors to promote the national interest and national welfare. Now we are going to revise about the types of party system. You already have learned, children. When you learn this lesson, there are 3 types of party systems. Okay, one is single party system. The next one is bi-party system. The third one is multi-party system. So, what is the meaning of bi? Bi means 2. Okay, so there are 3 major types of party systems: single party system, bi-party system, and multi-party system. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of single party system? Can anyone tell me? You have already learnt, no? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of single party system? Okay, now I'll tell you. Okay, single party system is a system in which a single political party has the right to form the government. Okay, and single party system now exists in only communist countries such as China, North Korea, and Cuba. So, shall I repeat it again, children? What is a single party system? Single party system is a system in which a single party has the right to form the government. Single party system only exists in communist countries like China, North Korea, and Cuba. Now, what is bi-party system? I already told you, no? Bi means 2. So, from that itself it is understood that it is a system where power is shared by 2 parties. Okay? The power is shared by 2 parties. One becomes the ruling party and the other one will become the opposition party. This type of party is seen in USA and UK. Okay, children? Now, the third one is what? What did I tell you? What is the third one? I told you the third one is multi-party system. Okay? When the competition for power is among 3 or more parties, the system is called as a multi-party system. Okay? This party can be seen in India, in France, and in Sweden, etc. Okay? Some other countries also follow multi-party system. India follows only multi-party system because we have got many parties in a country, no? You all know, no? You can name some of them also. There are many parties in our system. So we follow the multi-party system. Now we are going to learn about the party system of India. Okay? Countries that follow a federal system have 2 kinds of parties, and that they are national parties and regional parties. Okay? And we are proud that India has the largest number of political parties in the world. In India, we find the existence of political parties in 3 levels. Okay? They are national parties, regional parties, and registered but unrecognized parties, that is independent candidates. Okay, children? Shall I repeat? Countries that follow a federal system, they have got 2 kinds of parties, and in India we find the existence of political parties in 3 levels. They are national parties, regional parties, and registered parties which are unrecognized. Okay, that is independent candidates. We all know, no? So many independent candidates also stand in the election. They are called as registered parties. Okay, every party in the country has to register with the election commission. So if they have to compete in the elections, what should they do? They first should register themselves in the election commission. This I think you will know. You would have observed in the news, no? When a leader goes to register himself in the election commission, they show him in the video, no? They say today this man has gone to register himself with the election commission. You would have seen in the video, so you will know what it is. Okay, children? Now, I told you, that the candidate has to go and register himself in the election commission. Now, what is an election commission, children? The Election Commission of India is an autonomous constitutional authority responsible for administering the election. Okay, they only set the rules for the election, the guidelines which the officers sitting in the booth should follow, all that will be quoted by the election commission, and they will have a watch on the candidates, and there are certain rules that the candidates have to observe. All this will be followed by the election commission, and the election commission can even stop from somebody competing in the election if he breaks the rules. We know that for voting now, in some areas, some of the MLAs and MPs, they give money. All that is prevented by the, when a complaint goes to the election commission, the election commission will at once take action and stop the candidate from competing in the election, or he will give some, he may ask him to pay a fine, or he may stop him campaigning for the election. Okay, all this is the functions of the election commission. Okay, so where is the headquarters of the election commission, children? The headquarters of the election commission is in New Delhi. Remember it? The headquarters of the election commission is in New Delhi. Okay, now again I will repeat to you what the election commission is. The election commission of India is an autonomous constitutional authority responsible for administering the elections in the state. Okay, the headquarters of the election commission is in New Delhi. Now, how will you form a political party? How to form a political party? There are some basic rules in which have to be followed to form a political party. Okay, first of all, I told you, they must get registered themselves in the Election Commission of India. Where is the Election Commission of India? It is in New Delhi. Okay, and they must have at least 100 members, and each member must hold a voting card. Okay, he must have the right to vote. They give a card for us, for voting. He must hold 100 members must be there, and at least 100 members will be there, and they have to have a voting card. They must have the right to vote. Okay, and then they must write a party constitution. They will write what all they will do if they stand in the election and they win. So they have to write a party constitution. Okay, if they follow all these three basic rules, they can form a political party. So I told you, first they have to register themselves in the Election Commission of India, and the party must have at least 100 members who hold a voting card, and they must write a party constitution. Okay, children. Now that is all for the lesson today, children. I think you already learned this lesson, and we have revised it also. So now I am going to give you an assignment to write. Okay, just listen carefully to the assignment. Okay, children, now you have to write your assignment in your 120 pages ruled notebook. I told you already, your notebook is for social is 120 pages ruled notebook. Okay, now I want you to write, I am telling you the assignment now. In case you have to vote in an election, what qualities in the leader of the party you are going to vote to will you expect him to have? Okay, I repeat. Suppose you are going to vote in an election, you will look for some qualities in the leader whom you are going to vote. What qualities will you expect from him if you have to vote for him? Okay, write about 10 lines in your notebook. That's enough. Write your test, children. Play your Kahoot well, and follow the Zoom rules whenever you sit for your Zoom classes. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Thank you and bye.